All right, Lindsay, my gorgeous lady sitting next to me. Um, so Lindsay is a former teacher, and she was in the process of becoming a stay-at-home mom. She's a mom of 3 children, and that's when she found Nu Skin and has catapulted to the top. She's a 5-year team athlete and Circle of Excellence 1 member.
Not yet. That's not me, not yet. But it will happen.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. It was all that dancing. It shook me up. Sorry. All right, let me get my papers right. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Start looking at Phil.
You can't resist this. Not really.
All right. Yes. Okay. Stay-at-home mom, though, correct? And then your husband was working in the steel industry. Okay, you guys got me all distracted. All right. And then you actually came to the Nu Skin journey through toothpaste, correct? I've got it right now. Okay. And at that time you were looking for a new opportunity, but the person that you bought the toothpaste from the fair wasn't who you found the opportunity to. So tell us about that journey and how you found us here at Nu Skin.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. Okay, so very, very true story. Almost 6 years ago, I had a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old, and I was home with them. And my husband was working 6 days a week, as much overtime as possible at the steel mill on swing shifts, which meant I was basically a single parent. And even though as a little girl, I wanted to be a princess and I never wanted to work, but I wanted to have a lot of money. Being at home with the kids was such a blessing, but I didn't quite feel like my purpose was fulfilled. And then I would get embarrassed and feel really bad. Where are my mamas? Raise your hands. Or dads. But I felt guilty for that. But I knew I needed to keep pursuing that. So we came on hard times. Overtime wasn't cutting it. And we could not afford our groceries. So I had remembered back to a time when I went to a Mother's Day Out vendor event with my 3 kids. So it wasn't a Mother's Day Out event at all. But I went because it was really good to get out of the house, and that's what stay-at-home moms need. And I went with my mom. And I had seen teeth all over Facebook forever, and I was tired of seeing teeth, but I still wanted the toothpaste. Could not afford the toothpaste. Absolutely not. We were struggling as it was. So $20 toothpaste at that time was a no-go. But my mom bought it for me. And between the days of I couldn't remember the last time I brushed my teeth because I was staying home. That's nasty, but it's true. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about if you've ever been a stay-at-home mom. Okay. So when those hard times got worse, I started looking and I Googled ways to make money from home, but everything needed a kit. Couldn't afford a kit. So one woman was on social media, blown it up, teeth everywhere. It got on my nerves. I unfollowed her. But I remembered her name because she was consistent. It was laser printed into my brain. So when I was looking, because at the vendor event, the girl I bought the toothpaste from never followed up with me. Isn't that part of System 7, Diana? So when I was looking, when I was ready, the one girl was so consistent, I knew who to go to. So the rest is kind of history. And I'm listening to Dan, who is one of my uplines. And the one thing that always sticks out to me in my miracle morning is I have a purpose. And you have a purpose. And I have 2 minutes. I'm a talker. And when you're listening to these beautiful women and their stories, I challenge you to not compare your success to anybody else's. And know that if you are intentional with finding your true purpose, your God-given talents. They didn't just happen. There's nobody else like you, and that's for a good reason. You take that purpose, you take action, and you go and create your own dramatic success. And do you know how you do it? You know how I know this is the year? You're going to have to repeat after me, okay? Let me finish first or you'll mess it up. It's a new year, a new you, and a new me. Ready? New year, new you, new me.
Thank you so much. New Me 2023. All right. Our next panelist, we have a team elite, Yu Lee, NTC ambassador and 10 success trip. She ran 3 businesses. She was insecure when she was a child, and a single mother, came from a single mother, single parents family as well. She has worked a lot, just like us, just before Nu Skin. Had a lot of issues with her health before coming to Nu Skin. Now I have a question for you. I learned that you ran 3 businesses while taking care of your children as a single parent. How did you learn about Nu Skin, and share with us your story?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Yo-Yo. I'm from New York. I have 3 business. I used to have 3 stores. I'm really excited to be here to share my story. I hope I can help more people. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. 我之前的话有3家传统的生意，那我从小的话非常的话没有那个安全感，我很害怕没有钱。
I used to own like 3 retail businesses, and when I was little, I was very insecure because I was so afraid of not having enough money.
因为我从小在这个单亲的家庭，我妈妈是一个家庭主妇，所以我每个月的话呢，我们都要等爸爸给生活费。
I grew up from a single parent family, and my mom was a housewife, and every month we had to wait for my dad to send us a living expense.
所以我非常害怕，我未来也成为这样子一个人。
I was so afraid I was going to become that kind of person, always like waiting for someone to give me money.
所以我从小立志，我一定要有能力赚钱。
So when I was little, I was so determined that I should always have the ability to make money myself.
所以我移民到美国1年，我开始创业，我认真赚钱。
When I immigrated to the United States, after 1 year, I started my own business. I was working very hard to make money.
那个时候我是单亲妈妈，工作非常忙，生意很忙，我没有时间照顾孩子，所以我只能把他送到中国，让家人照顾。
That time, I was a single parent, a single mom. I was so busy with business, and then I didn't really have time to take care of my child, my daughter. So I had no choice. I had to send my daughter back to China for my family to take care of her.
但是的话，我7年经营了3家传统的生意，我那时候压力非常大，精力体力透支。这个时候，我1个星期的话看3次医生，我基本上1个星期都在店里，每一天工作，所以的话。
So that time, like in 7 years, I ran 3 businesses, and I was I was under so much pressure, and I was so exhausted, and my health was in bad situation. Every week, I had to see doctor 3 times.
所以的话，我逼不得已，我要把生意关闭。 休养。
So I had to close all my businesses and I had to take a break and take care of my health.
这个时候我在思考我的人生，难道金钱和梦想需要用健康来换取吗？
And that time I was thinking to myself, and why should I always have to sacrifice my health for money or for any success?
就在这个时候，我看到 New Skin 的18集很火，所以我看到我的上线在 social media 上在发，我问他我能不能转发，我就这样开始了我的生意。
And that time, New Skin, our age-lock facial spa was so popular, and I saw my upline was sharing on social media, and I asked her, "Can I also share and I can make money?" That's how I start business.
7年我经营 New Skin 7年，让我重新找回梦想和希望。
In 7 years of New Skin business, I found my dream and my hope.
我现在有时间陪伴孩子，我让他上非常好的学校，而且让他参加很多课外活动。
So now I have enough time to accompany my child, and she goes to so many extracurriculum classes, and she won all kinds of competitions.
他也得过很多奖，对。然后我因为想鼓励鼓励我的孩子，让他更加自信。
In order to encourage her to be more confident,
我陪他一起参加选美比赛，我们一起走上时装 T 台，他更加自信，而且我也完成了儿子的梦想。
so she and we went to the beauty pageant contest together, and she and both of us, we walk on the stage together, and so we become more confident. I actually realized my childhood dream, and I won the first prize for the beauty pageant contest.
我以前非常的不自信，但是我现在可以自信的站在舞台上。
I used to be very, very not confident, and now I can stand on the stage to speak.
我以前没有时间旅游，但是 New Skin 给我10次成功之旅，2次环宇旅行，我可以带着孩子和妈妈一起旅行。
In the past, I didn't have any time to travel, and with New Skin business, I was able to take my daughter, my mom, to 10 success trips and 2 Team Elite trips.
我爸爸以前非常不支持我做 New Skin， 但是有一天他朋友告诉他，你的女儿非常优秀，非常棒，她做到 New Skin 的最高级别。
My dad used to be very against my New Skin business, and one day his friend told him that your daughter did so well, and she became the top level of New Skin business.
他脸上表现非常的骄傲，非常开心，
He was so proud of me.
而且的话，他还打我电话说恭喜我。
He called me to congratulate me.
所以在你没有成功的时候，不要放弃，只要你坚持，一定能成功。
Do not ever give up. If you persevere, you will be successful.
感谢
All
New
right.
Skin 给我不一样的人生。
Thank you, New Skin, for a wonderful life.
I can do it, you can do it.
Never give up.
You can do it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Love that. Love that. So it's not just about the money, right? You see how it's changed so many lives from someone who was not able to take care of her own child, had to send her child to a different country, to now being able to be there for all of the activities. So not just about the money. I love these stories. And we're going to share another incredible story with you today through Ms. Ilia Marie Lopez. She was a teacher before coming to New Skin, but outside of that, she did many different jobs in order to make ends meet because she was a single mom of 2 boys. But in 4 years with New Skin, she's since become an emerald and attended 4 success trips. So Ilia, thank you for joining us here today.
Hola.
Oh. I've got a question for you. So when you started New Skin, you were a teacher, and I know that in your story you mentioned to me when we were talking that you had to leave your children so that you could work and make ends meet. Tell us about how you juggled everything and walk us on your New Skin journey and the dramatic success you achieved.
hace 4 años me encontraba en la situación más difícil de mi vida. Aún siendo maestra, el cheque no me daba. Y no solo eso, las preocupaciones, la ansiedad para poder pagar mis gastos como mamá soltera, me llevaron a una angustia enorme.
About 4 years ago, I found myself in a very difficult situation. As a teacher, my salary just wasn't quite cutting it, and I found myself with a lot of anxiety and stress trying to provide for my 2 children.
Un día, un familiar me dice que le comprara la pasta blanqueadora y yo acepté. Los resultados fueron increíbles. Cuando se los muestro, ella me dice, ¿puedes subirle este mensaje a Facebook recomendándome para que me ayudes y subes tu testimonio?
So about that time, a family member shared with me the whitening toothpaste. I tried it and my results were amazing. So then he tells me, hey, could you do a post for me, a shout out, and show everybody your results? And I went ahead and put that up. And then
Para mi sorpresa, ese post se llenó de muchos comentarios, todo el mundo quería la pasta, todo el mundo quería vender y yo no sabía de qué se trataba. Ahí mi prima me dice, pues únete al negocio.
So what ended up happening is as I posted this post, there was tons of comments, a lot of people interested in buying and really interested in and impressed with my results. And that's when my cousin says to me, hey, do you want to try this business with me?
En ese momento me di cuenta que no solo podía ser una maestra, sino que también podía seguir subiendo testimonios, poder seguir generando lo que yo necesitaba en ese momento.
So I realized in that moment that I didn't have to stick with only teaching, that I could also make money posting again and generating income by doing this business on social media.
En ese momento, esa misma semana, fui a una tienda de todo a dólar y compré un paquete de cepillo de dientes y en el ponchador de mi escuela, donde estaban los maestros, le dije a mis compañeros, les voy a blanquear los dientes.
So I went off that week. I decided to go to the dollar store. I bought a bunch of toothbrushes. I had 1 tube of whitening toothpaste, and I decided that I would take it to work. And I stood there on the time card, like checkpoint at work, and I told all of my coworkers, I'm going to whiten your teeth.
Y con la única pasta que tenía, que era la propia, le coloqué a todo el mundo un poco de pasta y los envié al baño de la oficina a cepillarse los dientes.
So I lined them all up. I took out my toothpaste and I put toothpaste on everybody's toothbrush and I sent them to the bathroom to brush their teeth.
Subí todos sus resultados, le saqué fotos, los subí a las redes y en menos nada me viralicé, empecé a tener clientes nuevos, socios nuevos y pude ver que Nuki me podía ofrecer más de lo que yo pensaba.
So I ended up taking pictures of their befores, their afters. I put them on social media, I shared them, and I started to get lots of new customers, lots of new business partners, and I realized that Newskid could really offer me an incredible opportunity.
Desde ese momento me volví una cazadora de testimonios y llevé toda mi transformación, empecé a transformarme, mi piel, mis dientes, mi cuerpo, todo lo llevé a las redes sociales y para mi sorpresa había muchas personas que también necesitaban lo que yo estaba haciendo.
So from that moment, I became like always on the hunt and look out for before and afters. Who can I share this with and how can I take pictures and testimonials and put them up and have it blow up? And I started to share my transformation and what it was doing for me, both for my teeth, for my skin, and to be able to share that with others.
En poco tiempo, sin darme cuenta, porque no sabía lo que estaba haciendo, ya me estaba ganando mi primer viaje de 4 ya y pude ver que aquí había mucho más.
Very quickly, I didn't even realize I was earning a success trip, but I earned my first success trip soon after, my first of 4 that I've earned so far. And I started to really realize that I can start growing this.
Nuki empezó a darme lo que yo necesitaba. Comencé a trabajar muy duro, realmente muy duro. Y pude empezar a cubrir esos gastos que yo como mamá soltera no podía en ese momento.
New Skin really started to change things for me, to allow me through the income that I was producing to be able to cover expenses that I hadn't been able to cover before as a single mom, and to really start to realize that I could do something really life-changing for myself.
Decido hacerlo a tiempo completo porque vi que podía hacer mucho más, empecé a sentirme diferente, empecé a sentirme segura, con autoestima, algo que nunca había sentido como mujer.
After working really, really hard at this and putting in the time, the effort, I decided to do this full time and to really be able to provide the life for my kids that I wanted, being able to be home with them. And I've really enjoyed it ever since.
Desde ese momento decidí que mi misión aquí iba a ser transformar el mayor de vidas posible.
So ever since then, I made it my mission. I've made it my mission to come to help others transform their lives in that same way that I've been able to transform mine, as many lives as possible through this opportunity.
Todos merecen sentir la paz que yo siento ahora. Creo que muchos la necesitan y
I think everybody needs to have the same transformation, the peace of mind that this business gives you. I have grown a lot in my self-confidence and really come to love myself in a way that I never thought I could.
siempre digo que cuando una persona ama lo que ve en el espejo, es capaz de lograr tantas cosas en la vida. Y yo me dije, todos merecen vivir esto.
I have really thought to myself that when we come to really love ourselves and love that person that you see in the mirror, that's when you are really capable of doing greater things than you ever thought possible. And I honestly believe that everybody deserves to have this type of a feeling and accomplish these things.
Wow. Thank you so much for that story. So next up, we'll have qualifying team lead, Brittany Corning. NTC ambassador right now lives in Brookville, California, Florida, and she was a former factory worker. So my question is, Brittany, we, through working together, I learned that you didn't join Nu Skin the first time you were introduced, right? So, but maybe not because you didn't like it, but, maybe you had a lot of struggles that you had to deal with. So please share with me about that.
Yeah. So, wow. I'm gonna tell you, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great, hard journey. So when I was offered this opportunity, I was offered it in 2018, May of 2018. And it was a friend of mine. Like, we worked together for years in 2 or 3 different places. And I remember she came up to me just randomly one day, and she was just like, hey, I have an opportunity for you. You need to sign up. You need to take it. And I said, no, you're out of your mind. I have been in other companies before. I knew what it was going to be. I knew you had to buy a kit. I knew you had to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I just was not willing to do it. And she's like, no, it's free. I'm like, okay, no, you're out of your mind. And so she was so consistent with me because she knew that I was actually going through a hard time. I had actually just had a very big surgery for my health, and I was fighting for temporary disability from my work comp and all this good stuff. And I ended up getting a shut off notice in the mail. And it wasn't the first time. So of course I felt that burden. I felt sick. And I knew it wasn't the only thing that honestly was just sitting there. And I got sick of it because I got sick of going to bed crying all the time. How am I going to provide for my kids? My kids deserve and they need more. And what I'm doing right now is not fair to them. And so finally, the 7th time, I said, yeah, I'll do it. And I'm going to tell you that was the best yes I ever said, because that night I realized there's something here. There's something magical here. There's something that's going to change my life. Of course, I wasn't really concerned about others at the time because, again, remember what I said? I had a stack of things that were pinning against me. So I worked it, and I worked what I thought was hard. And I also thought I knew all, and I did not listen whatsoever. Sometimes it's still kind of questionable. And so you end up having to go through the goo before you can get to the good. And I went through a lot of it in my journey, from not listening to having a Christmas tree donated one year to
calling up my grandma and saying, can I get a gallon of milk? And over time, you finally just come to yourself and you say, something I'm doing is not working. They keep talking about Utah, which is why all of you are here. There has to be something there. There's something magical there that's happening, and that's why it's changing everybody's lives. So I took one of my paychecks from the factory. I paid for my flight. Took another one. I put it back for food. I paid for my hotel room the Friday I was here. And I remember everything was hitting really good. Everything was going good. And then Jeff Mack came up on the stage and he gave this awesome performance, which we've all heard. And it was him saying, Nu Skin gave me the ability to have memories with my kids while they were young. And that's when it hit me, and it hit me hard because I was just like, I'm missing out on my kids. I am sacrificing what I thought was for my kids. And in reality, it's to survive. I'm done. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to listen and I'm going to look at the bigger picture because I know I'm missing something here, and I'm going to do it for my boys because they're awesome and they deserve the world. And, finally messaged my upline and I said, hey, I'm going full time. And she's like, all right. So I did it. And again, you go through this ride because you did a different motion and you are growing and you're being bigger and better. And then you're going to go through the goo again. And it's just going to keep happening because I wasn't offering the opportunity. I was selfish. I really was. And it was when my son, he was 3 and he went into the hospital. We didn't know what was wrong. They told us anything and everything was wrong with him, but they couldn't actually diagnose him. And it was that click, that realization that, oh my gosh, I didn't have to ask permission to be a mom. Isn't that crazy? I didn't have to call up my boss. I didn't have to, tell somebody, I got to go be a parent. Can somebody cover my shift? I was there the entire time, all because one person offered me this opportunity 7 times. And I finally said yes. So if you're taking anything away from this, because after that, I was all in. My business excelled because I saw the bigger picture and I knew that there was other moms in this business that needed this business, or they weren't in this business yet and they still needed it. They needed something to change their life like mine was changed, and I was ready. That was my moment when I was ready. So if you're taking anything from this, is there's somebody out there and they might have told you no, and that's okay. It does not mean not right now. It's not their time yet. And it doesn't matter if it's your time, it means it's not their time. And they're going to come to when it's the most that matters.
Awesome.
No, it's not. No, it's not yet.
All right. So being a mom myself, I just heard some incredible stories from these mothers. And the thing that I just heard from you is that really stuck with me is, my kids deserve better than this. And you hear it from both sides. You hear it from your story where there wasn't enough money, and then you use a story where there's a lot of money, but still can't even take care of the kids. So that's what we kind of got to think about is, if any of you are parents out there and you're having a hard time finding your why, maybe tonight you ask yourself, do my kids deserve better than this? And am I working hard enough in this business to give them what they need? So I hope that the story of these ladies on the stage gives you what you're looking for tonight. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Ladies.